60 Minutes Overtime.
This week on 60 Minutes, we are reporting on the crisis at the border.
On the ground!
Specifically, the Texas southern border, and we are focused on something called Operation Lone Star. That is the brainchild of Republican Governor Greg Abbott, where many say he is trying to take on the federal government in terms of whose job it is to enforce immigration policy in this country.
Texas is not trying to impose its own law. We're simply trying to enforce the law that says that you cannot cross the border illegally, and if you do, you must be detained.
Under Operation Lone Star, Texas authorities have erected razor wire barriers along the banks of the Rio Grande. They have arrested thousands of migrants for trespassing in the state of Texas, and they've deployed thousands of National Guard and state law enforcement officers around the state, sending them to the border, all in the hopes of stopping illegal crossings. We went on a ride-along with Texas Department of Public Safety Trooper Jacqueline Gooding.
Looking for people smuggling.
When Trooper Gooding is out on patrol, she's looking for one thing primarily, and that is smugglers, human traffickers.
I'm looking for what we call like criminal indicators. Some of it might be rental vehicles, a vehicle that's a pickup truck that looks heavily weighted in the back. I've seen a lot of different things personally. It's not out of the norm at all to see, 6, 7, 8 people piled in the back of a pickup truck. You constantly see people in the backs of SUVs, in the trunks of cars. One of my most recent pursuits that I had that was involved in human smuggling, there was a young child squished in the back seat with 4 people and just like piled amongst adults. So you see it all.
What are some of the things that you found when you pull these cars over, that the stuff you think about when you go home that keeps you up at night?
I think just in general, seeing that these individuals, especially children that have no choice in the matter, are thought of as a commodity, and their safety and their well-being really isn't a concern. It's just about money to these cartels and gangs that are over these organizations.
So are you looking for the driver, the smuggler, or are you looking for the people in the back?
I'm mainly looking for the smuggler, the driver, and I'm trying to get intel from that stop as well, because a lot of times the driver is kind of the bottom man at the totem pole.
How much has Operation Lone Star changed your job as a state trooper?
Operation Lone Star has changed our role tremendously. We went from normal highway patrol things like stopping cars for traffic infraction, working crashes, looking for driving while intoxicated drivers, and now we still cover all those things, but we've also been enforcing different laws that have to do with human smuggling more so than we've ever seen in the past.
What percentage of your job now is border related, would you say?
I'm stationed in Del Rio, so I would say the majority of my work is border related. I have 95% is going to be in relation to the border.
Trooper Gooding told us that she's stopped migrants who told her that they've been arrested as many as 10 times, some of them. While we were out on this ride-along, we came across a group of migrants, about 50 of them.
We've got the pathway over here.
Who had just illegally crossed into Texas across the Rio Grande, and they were in this spot being processed by the Border Patrol, about to start their process of moving through the asylum process in the United States. Trooper Gooding told us that state troopers are often stationed far from home when they are doing these assignments at the border, that they can be working shifts that last up to a week long and sometimes up to 16 hours a day.
It's just such a crisis right now, and we feel so overwhelmed that at the end of the day, all I can do is my job, and that's it. So
Do you feel overwhelmed by this?
It is very overwhelming. It feels, in a lot of ways, I think, not just to myself, but to most of us working this, it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel right now.
Why is a state trooper doing what you're doing? Isn't this the job of the Border Patrol?
Immigration, is the job of Border Patrol, but as a state trooper, my job is to protect and serve Texas. And we are in Texas. This is our backyard, and we're going to do whatever it takes to protect our citizens and enforce the laws of Texas. And so I think it's just all entangled together at this point in time.